Imagine a group of young kids playing with shared toys. Then all of a sudden, one of the kids takes all the toys and says, for all of us to play with these toys, you guys have to do things my way, or I'm going to give you some responsibilities. Once you're done with them, then I'm going to give you a certain level of control with the toys. Now, if you've grown up in Kenya, you have gone through a version of what I'm talking about. This is where, or rather even anywhere in the world, this is where a kid probably has a new toy and everyone wants to play with the toy, and that kid uses that as leverage to say, for you to do, for you to play with my toy, you have to do some certain things, Now, Karl Marx, who founded this theory in the mid-19th century, was of the idea, if he would relate it to this kid's story, would say that those kids who don't have the toys, who don't have access to the toys, need to fight and to get access to the toys to make sure that all the toys are shared equitably, that each and every person has fair and equal share to all the toys. And so we find his economic theory then, which now came to become the worldview that it is today, was that in the society there exist two classes. There is the class that has it all, and there's a class that is working for the people who have it all. And so for him, he was for the idea that this is not okay. And his main vision at the end of the day was to have every resource that is available on the planet to be shared equally among everyone. And the role of the state, or rather the role of the government, is to have enforce the equitable sharing of resources across board, so that each and every person should own nothing and be happy. That is the main goal of Marxist theory. Now, this theory, of course, at the time, because of the Industrial Revolution and the difference in the classes, where the rich were super rich and the poor were very poor, and so because of this class conflict, because of the level of disparity that was going on back in the day and the levels of hardship, it was taken up by some governments. And one government that took it up really was the Russian government at the time under Lenin. And Lenin took it up and said that we have to enforce this theory because it makes sense to me. Lenin himself was a rich man. I don't know why he went with the theory, but he said that we have to enforce this theory, particularly because he knew that in enforcing it, he would have absolute control of the whole of Russia. Whatever resources Russia had, he had full control. And when he began that, then extended it to Joseph Stalin, the infamous dictator, things became bad. Things went from bad to worse. And part of the problem, and a big downturn as to why I believe Marxism is very bad and can't work, is because even though it might look nice on paper because everyone is sharing things equally and stuff like that, there is no order. And a particular problem is that there's no one person who will know the absolute and exact needs of each and every other person individually. It is impossible for me here to know and understand the needs, the particular and specific needs of someone else. And if I impose my needs forcefully on them, it is no longer them being free. It is them being subject to what I think is good for them. And ladies and gentlemen, that is slavery. And so during that period where there was radical Marxist ideas being pushed around, it is estimated that there was about 10 to 20 million people who died, either from famine, either from the abductions and the killings by the government because of the forceful ideologies and policies, either by all these things. And I believe that Marxism is an idea that can't work. Marxism today is still alive, still throbbing. But what has happened to Marxism is that it has transformed and camouflaged into different ideologies that really cripple society. It makes society more divisive, more aggressive, more unsettling than ever before, than private property and other ideologies does. One of these morphs is the rise of feminism, where women feel that they are, for some reason, undermined. In biblical Christianity, that is absolutely not the case. Each and every person has value. You be a man, you be a woman, you be a child, you have value. It doesn't make you more valuable, it doesn't make you any less value, but you have your unique value that no one else can feel. being a man has value, being a woman has value, being a child has value. And so feminism seeks to disrupt that and say that for some reason we fit into one space and all of us need to fight for our position. Another place that this Marxism has really crippled us as a society, particularly in more advanced economies and worlds, is LGBTQ and the woke culture. Over the years, you've seen how this woke culture is self-imploding, self-destructive, where there's no point to what they're doing, enforcing their sexual beliefs and personal beliefs to everyone for us to embrace. But they feel like, we are oppressing them for some reason. If someone, a husband and a wife do their relations in the bedroom, it is none of anyone else's business. Sincerely, it's not. You do your stuff. It's between you, that other person, and God. Of course, apart from cases where there's rape and there's, pedophilia and stuff like that, the extremes of society, that's a no-no. But in the event of consensual adults, it is of no point for you to enforce your personal preferences, wherever, to everyone else. We don't care. We don't care. Come on. So this Marxism ideology is crippling us as a society. We should be tired of fighting. We should be tired of fighting one another. We should get to a place where we embrace each and every other person for the value that they carry. In biblical Christianity that I advocate for, it does advocate for private property, that each and every person has a personal responsibility. In Thessalonians, it talks about, 2 Thessalonians, it talks about that whoever does not work should not eat. This means that each and every person has a responsibility to work and to eat. And so, even, when we talk about private property, there's a parable that Jesus says that there was one was given 1, another was given 3, another was given 5, and they were responsible for what they would do with that. And so, that is something that is emphasized in biblical Christianity that Marxism just downturns. And another thing that is also very key is creativity. With Marxism, there's no creativity. You leave creativity and all creativity to the government. All you get to do is just follow instructions. But with private property and with biblical Christianity, you are responsible for creating solutions for the people around you. And as you create solutions for the people around you, you get to benefit because there's economic value that will come your way and there's significant value in your significance and status in society. And so for those reasons, I believe that Marxism and all its forms and shapes is evil and should not be in any way tolerated in our society. It leaves us divided, leaves us, just up for peril. And I don't believe it's up. I do. So be on the lookout for Marxist ideas and philosophies and rebuke it because now you have reason to. Thanks.